ton of questions, and I agree with you. There was a lot of effort plays that were missed or that weren't made on that Jacksonville defense. The defense that we've seen carry this team for the last 2 or 3 years, I felt like today I saw some plays where they gave up, and maybe they just felt too much pressure to carry this team yet again because the offense is not holding up their end of the bargain. They're not getting any production on the offensive side of the ball, and it's very similar to me of what's going on with the Kansas City Chiefs and LA Rams. They're getting a lot of production on one side and very little production on the other side. And so I think you just saw pressure bust pipes at sometimes, man, and it just couldn't get it done, and I felt like the defense really, really felt that pressure today.
Yeah, it was tough because they had a lot of chances early. Cody actually made some pretty good throws down the field. They dropped him. It didn't turn into anything, and then Derrick Henry had the day that he had. You had hope for him because last week they played the Colts. They had a shutout. You're thinking, okay, maybe Cody can come in and get a couple first downs, maybe spark this team. But it looks like they, like you said, they just ran out of gas. They're just tired of being on the field. When you get beat up like that, there's only so much you can do.
Well, a great performance we saw this Thursday night, and look what we have in store for you next Thursday night. You guys, we've got the Chargers Chiefs.
Maybe the division championship game.
That is going to be for the division championship right there.
Well, if Kansas City loses to Baltimore this week, it could flip the script in this game. Huge playoff implications and a great way to start off the week. Chiefs, as of right now, the 1 seed in the AFC. Chargers are the 5 seed, just 1 game separating them in the standings. Also in right now, the postseason, the Patriots, Texans, Steelers, and Ravens, who all have tough matchups this weekend. So this deck could look very different come Monday.
All right, over in the NFC, you see the Rams have already clinched their division. The Saints can clinch their division with a win on Sunday. The NFC East leader is the Dallas Cowboys, who take on the Philadelphia Eagles. Winner gets first place in that one. Fox already calling that one the game of the week, America's game of the week. Time to find out who has the edge, presented by Volvo. Who needs to have the edge in this
I think
one?
that the group of guys that I think really need to step up, right? The Philadelphia Eagles are trying to play good football. You're going against a team, the Dallas Cowboys, that can run and play tough. You got to help your secondary out. It's depleted. Your defensive line has to show up. Like Michael Bennett, Fletcher Cox, all these guys, they have to be what they should have been early in this season and throughout this season, carry that football. I know they're struggling on the backside. I know it's tough. But this is a team that the Cowboys don't have a ton of talent out there. They got Amari Cooper. They got some guys who can make some plays. If you can just get a little pressure on Dak, force him to make some throws to that secondary, give him some life, give him some hope. That's the group I think.
This is not a complicated scheme that they're playing against, right? Like, you know you have to stop the run. So are the Philadelphia Eagles prepared to put 8 guys in the box at a minimum, sometimes 9 guys, because you have to stop the run. If you don't stop this run first, you will walk out of the Dallas Cowboys Stadium with an L and a long flight home.
Ezekiel Elliott in the first matchup between the Eagles and the Cowboys went for 151 yards on the ground. Dallas won that game. But again, it is a battle for first place. If Philadelphia wins that game, they'll both have the same record, but divisional tiebreaker will go to the Eagles at least this week if Philadelphia is able to pull it out.
I don't know if you've heard, but the Eagles have at least one guy who thinks that they can do all of the things that you two just suggested that they need to do, or I guess maybe he's really suggesting that the Cowboys won't do what they need to do. His name is Kamu Grugier-Hill. He is an Eagles linebacker, and he says that the Cowboys always choke, and that's what's going to happen on Sunday.
I like it. Fighting words.
So what you think about that, Dak?
You know, Coach Garrett has a great saying, and I don't know where he got it from, but winners worry about winning, and losers worry about winners. So we're focused on ourselves in this locker room about what we need to do to get better each and every phase of this game and be ready for this week. We're not worried about he say, she say.
So there's that. And how about this? Kelvin Benjamin is now a Chief. Signed with the team today after going unclaimed on waivers yesterday after being waived by the Bills on Tuesday. So an extra weapon for KC's offense as Sammy Watkins deals with a foot injury.
As if they need more.
Right? I know. They've got so many. Meanwhile, down in Indy, Colts have tons of players dealing with injuries this week. They had 10 guys that were held out of practice today, including T.Y. Hilton and Eric Ebron. Neither of them has practiced yet this week. We'll find out tomorrow what that means for their game Sunday against the Texans. Meanwhile, in Baltimore, Joe Flacco is taking steps to return. A limited participant today for the 4th straight day. According to local reporters, he looked like he was moving better and throwing the ball well. Sam Darnold also looking good in practice, a full participant again today, and according to Ian Rappaport, he will be a full participant in Sunday's game, back after 3 games out with a foot injury. Norv Turner says that Cam Newton will play on Sunday, largely because he heard Cam Newton say that. The Panthers quarterback limited again today with a shoulder injury. Denzel Ward did not practice for the Browns. Sounds like the Dolphins are going to be without their best defensive player against the Patriots on Sunday. Xavier Howard described as week to week with a knee injury. Eric Berry getting closer to a return for the Chiefs. Julio Jones says he will play on Sunday despite the fact that he hasn't practiced this